Hi everyone, welcome to day 7 of release. You made it, you're amazing. Today we have a let it go flow, so a quick little vinyasa practice to get the blood moving, get the body shaking in a way that feels absolutely tip top awesome. So hop into your really comfy clothes and I will meet you on the mat. Okay, so jumping right in, finding a comfortable seat on the ground. I'm in Sukhasana with my hips lifted up onto a yoga block, but you can take whatever support you need and find whatever position you want to here, as always. Whenever you get there, we're going to find a nice long spine all the way from the tailbone to the crown, shoulders soft, jaw soft, muscles of the face relaxed, taking all the tension away from us. And notice where you have the hands. Now, if you're feeling quite grounded, you might like to lift the palms towards the sky, but if you're in need of a little bit more support from the earth, feel free to bring the palms onto the knees, face down. And then closing the eyes or softening the gaze. We're just going to take 3 breaths here. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. And really play with finding this nice long inhale. Emptying everything out. Keep going, keep going, keep going. 2 more times. Once more. Then start to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just cultivating this awareness around your natural breath. We're not trying to change anything here, make it super long or deep, just really being present with everything that we feel in this moment. And if we came to the mat feeling quite angry, anxious, annoyed, we could be happy, sad, excited, whatever we're feeling right now, just take this time to sit with it and be with it. Accept everything for what it is in this moment. Using the power of the breath to help us arrive in this space. Think about exactly where you are, how you've chosen to place yourself on your mat. Finding 3 more breaths here. And even as we move, taking this sense of calm with us. Maybe we don't feel calm yet, and that's fine. Maybe we won't feel calm the whole practice. But just keep connecting to our breath and see and discover the magic that happens when we do this. Gorgeous. Opening the eyes, bringing the right hand down to the ground, left hand all the way towards the sky. Finding length, reach a little taller and then fold over to the right side. Keep the lower body grounded, heart space lifted. 1 breath here. And exhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Really, really reach. Soften the shoulders a little bit more. Take 1 nice breath in. As you breathe out, left hand down and folding over to the left side. Nice. Inhaling. Exhaling. Both arms reach back to center, reaching the fingertips high. And then softening the arms out wide, crossing the left arm over the right. Finding this nice crisscross at the elbow space and then bringing the backs of the hands or palms towards each other. Lifting the elbows, softening through the shoulders, also known as eagle arms. And if the hands don't come together, they might not even be anywhere near each other, and that's fine. We're just working with the intention of bringing them towards each other. Breathing in. As you breathe out, opening the arms and crossing the right arm on top of the left. Finding this shape on the other side. But rather than focusing on the look of the shape, can we really feel where we feel this? Really experience this posture. Perhaps we close the eyes. Notice where we send our breath to here. 1 more. And releasing, opening out, nice, just rolling the shoulders all the way back and all the way forwards. And then we're going to come to sit with our legs, our left leg out long, and hugging our right leg all the way up and in on top of the left thigh. Finding our lovely little leg baby, so taking hold of the right leg and just cradling it from side to side, waking up the space through the hip. We might like to, if we have the space, bring the sole of the foot to the elbow crease, but remember we're really easing into our practice today, so only do this if we feel comfortable and if we can keep our length in our spine. And then bringing the right hand to the right foot and just maybe finding a little bit more space back here. Maybe we just play with lengthening the leg. Really just oil out the joints here. One more breath. Lovely. Releasing the right leg down, bringing the left leg up and in. Finding our leg baby on this side and being really aware how the space might feel different here. So notice this. We're not here to judge. Then taking the foot in the left hand and just having our little playtime. Lengthening if we like to. It's really finding a little bit more length and love to the back of the legs, the hamstring, the calf, all the way through to the hip joint. And one more breath before releasing down to the ground. Now lifting our hips up, off and away from our prop as we bring our feet to the earth. And we have a few options here. Everybody just bringing the fleshy part of the bottom away from the earth as we rock back onto our tailbone. Now we can keep our feet on the ground, or we can lift the feet so the shins come sort of parallel to the sky. A few options with the arms for our first few breaths. Either bringing the hands behind the hamstrings, reaching them out long. If there's space, we can reach towards the sky. So know where you are. Staying here for one more breath. Then everybody opening the legs a little bit wider. Bringing our hands either side of the left leg. So we're finding a little bit of a twist here as we come back to center and over to the right. Remember, the feet or the toes can be on the earth. Going all the way back over to the left. Keeping this nice long spine as we float over to the right. One more time to each side. Just waking up the fire in the deep abdominals. Nice. Coming all the way back, crossing the feet at the ankles and jumping through all fours. Tabletop, wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Really spread through the fingers as we ground through the tops of the feet. Curling the tailbone down, finding cat pose, arching the spine towards the sky. And then waving through each of our vertebrae as we lift our tailbone, lift our gaze, cow pose. Beautiful. 2 more times through cat and cow. Rather than worrying about the shape and the destination of where we're going, can we really experience the transition? Just wakening up the body, getting the blood flowing. Nice. And then coming back to center, whenever you're ready, in our neutral spine. Sending our right leg out long to the side. And now we can keep our leg long here, or we can come to bend the knee. Wherever we are, we're going to find one circle really, really slowly with the leg. So take it nice and high, forwards, round, and back. Careful not to kick things in your room. And then we're going to send our circle in the opposite direction. Remember, we can have the knee bent here. Nice. And then everybody coming to lengthen the right leg. We're going to tuck our left toes under. And don't worry if you jump off the mat, it's okay. The floor won't hurt you. Finding a little ninja pose. So we've got the left foot on the ground, keeping the right toes lifted towards the face. And as we plant the left fingertips, we're going to reach the right hand towards the sky, opening into a twist and releasing 2 more times. Gorgeous. And then walking your way back into tabletop, Bringing the right leg in, sending the left leg out long. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. To keep the fingers spread wide, palms really grounding down. As we lift our leg, option to bend the knee. We're going to find a big circle, so lift it high, forwards, round and back. And now doing this in the opposite direction, slow it down. Lovely. And everyone bringing the left foot down, tucking the right toes under as we jump back into our little ninja pose. Planting the right palm, reaching the left hand high, really finding space in our twist. And coming all the way back 2 more times. Lovely, floating back to center, into our tabletop. Tucking the toes under behind us, sitting back on the heels. Reaching the arms, really feeling the support from the ground beneath the palms as we lift the hips high towards the sky. You guessed it, downward facing dog. Start to just feel how you feel here. Notice what movement you want to take. Maybe you pedal through the heels. Maybe you just find some space by bending the knees and breathing. Notice where you are. And then walking the hands back towards the feet, finding a forward fold. Make sure the feet are hips distance apart. As we release the crown of the head down, bend the knees nice and generously. And crossing the right leg behind the left. Option to lift up onto any support here from our bricks or at-home props. And then stepping the right foot back out. Left leg behind the right, keeping the knees nice and soft here. Oh, just 1 more breath in. And as we breathe out, jumping back to our forward fold, walking the hands forward and downward facing dog, lifting the hips up high. And then curling the spine towards the sky like an angry cat. We roll the shoulders forwards over the wrists, coming into our plank pose. Woohoo! Keeping the knees lifted or lowering them down. Choose your own plank here. Keep really pressing away through the ground to lift the space in between the shoulder blades, and then send the hips high. Downward dog, everybody meeting there for 1 breath. And then curling forwards, find this angry cat before lengthening, nice long line from the head to the heels. Send away through the heels and then lift up, downward facing dog, nice. 1 more time. Coming all the way forwards and staying there. Option to keep the knees lifted or as always lower them down. We're going to bring the right leg off the earth. Bend the right knee and send it around and towards the right elbow. Lovely, keeping the hips lifted, floating back. Left leg off the earth. Bend the left knee, send it around, finding space before bringing it forwards. Nice, then coming all the way back, keeping the knees lifted or lowering them down as we soften the elbows behind us, floating onto our mat. Taking our feet nice and wide, taking the hands off the mat, so bringing the fingertips to the earth, like tenting through the palms, back near the rib cage. Breathing in, and on your breath out, we'll lift the heart forward, rise into a cobra. A little bit different here to what we might normally do, and softening down 2 more times, lifting on your exhale. Can we grow even taller through the spine? Okay, nice. 1 more time. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And releasing, coming all the way down, hands by the rib cage. And as we press all the way up, we're going to sit back into a child's pose. Knees wide, toes together. Or if it feels more comfortable for you with the knees together, then do this. Arms can be forwards or back. No, we can come to child's pose at any time throughout any of our practices or in everyday life when things just sometimes are too much and we just need a child's pose. Child's pose always has got your back. So finding 1 more breath here. And as we exhale, slowly lifting back up, tucking the toes under in your tabletop. As we walk the hands forward, rising into a downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. Really think about how we're getting into our down dog, especially if we've done this pose lots and lots and lots of times. Find something new here. And then walking the feet towards the hands, finding our fold again, feet hips distance apart, rooting down. We'll slowly rise up to standing, arms hang heavy like a rag doll. Reaching the hands for the sky, and then softening, rolling all the way down. On your next inhale, lift up halfway, finding a flat back. You choose where the hands go. Maybe they reach behind, maybe palms to the thighs or hands to the shins, and then folding forwards, slowly rising all the way up to standing, reach for the sky. And palms float together down at the heart as we send our sitting bones behind us. Allowing our knees to bend, coming to sit back in chair pose. Really feeling our weight spread evenly through all four sides of both feet. Can we feel each of our toes on the ground? Nice. Notice the length in our spine, finding one more breath here. Before folding forwards over the legs. Inhale, lift up halfway, your flat back. Exhale, fold. Bring the fingertips to the earth as we step the right leg straight back. Nice and wide though, almost your feet as wide as your mat. And keeping both knees bent as we press down to the ground to rise up tall into our high lunge. Reaching the fingertips, softening the shoulders. And keep sending away through the back heel. Nice. Breathing in, breathing out. Hands float to the ribs. We pivot the back foot to the ground as the ribs spiral over to the right side of our mat. Arms reach, finding warrior two. Front knee bent, back leg nice and long. Can we feel the earth through both of our feet? Floating the left hand down the left leg and reaching it forwards. Keep reaching and growing with the spine as we float back. Reverse warrior. Breathing in, breathing out. Warrior two. Then bending the left elbow, bringing the forearm to the thigh as we spiral the right hand all the way up or forward in our side angle pose. And in our side angle pose, we can take a few options. Bring the left hand maybe down to our support or to the earth. Listen to where there's space. But wherever we are, we're going to windmill the right arm. All the way forwards, round and back. And all the way back, round and forward. Just one time each way. Nice. And we're going to lift into our warrior two again. Pivoting on the back foot. As we find an airplane lunge, stomach down towards the thigh, fingertips float back, and then stepping all the way into our fold. Nice. Inhale to lift up halfway, exhale to fold. Planting the fingertips, stepping the left leg back nice and wide. Grow your posture from the foundation, finding support in your high lunge, arms reaching. Breathing in. Breathing out, hands to the ribs as we pivot the back foot to the ground, spiral the ribs over and reach in our warrior two. Nice. Feeling the ground, feeling your breath, noticing where your attention is. Right hand floats down the right leg and reaches forwards and all the way back, and we grow our spine a little taller. Finding space for the intercostal muscles in between the ribs and jumping through warrior two. Bending the right elbow, finding your version of side angle pose. Windmilling one way and windmilling the opposite way. Lovely. One more breath here before pressing down to rise up warrior two. Pivoting on the back foot, spiraling into our airplane lunge. Keeping this length, the space between the shoulders and the ears. And then jumping forwards, this time chair pose. Palms float together, we bend our knees, send our sitting bones back. Find one nice breath in here. And as we breathe out, folding forwards. On your inhale, lift up halfway, your flat back. Find your own adventure. And folding forwards, planting the palms and stepping or hopping the feet back into our plank pose. Sending the knees down or keeping them lifted. Send the elbows behind us as we lower down. Planting through the feet, taking a nice wide stance in the hands as we lift into our cobra. Heart space reaches forwards. And softening all the way down to the ground, planting the palms and making your way back to your downward facing dog. Tucking the toes under, sitting back and finding this length. Gorgeous. Nice, everyone. Finding a breath in your down dog. And then walking, stepping or hopping the feet forwards into a fold. Inhale to lift up halfway, your flat back. Exhale, release into your fold. Rooting down, we're going to rise up halfway. Send the sitting bones back. You know the drill, Utkatasana. This time we option to reach the arms towards the sky or soften the elbows in our cactus arms. And everybody floating the palms together as we keep our low body, imagining it's cemented from the hips down, nice and steady. We're going to find a rotation from the ribs in our thoracic spine as we twist over to the right side. Maybe we bring the outer side of our left arm down to the outer right leg. Maybe this is for today or for another day, but wherever we are, really experiencing this twist. And then floating through center and on to the other side. I know the legs are talking to you, just breathe here. Feel each of the toes on the earth. And float back to center. We're going to take our weight into our left leg. As we do this, floating the right leg towards the sky, arms reach. And then crossing the right leg over the top of the left, bending the knees as we sit back a little lower. Option to cross the right foot around the left calf. Finding our eagle arms. Eagle legs, sorry. And if we want to, we have the option to find our eagle arms. So with the right leg crossed over, we're going to cross the left arm over the top of the right and explore these variation in the arms that we found earlier on in our practice. But maybe this is for today or for another day entirely. So really just be where you are and enjoy this. Smile. Keep the shoulders soft. One more breath here. Before releasing, we're going to fold forwards. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. And this time as we rise up halfway, sitting back in our chair pose, stay there. Taking our weight now into our right side. Lifting our left leg off the ground. Take whatever support you need to from the wall and countertop. And then crossing the left leg over the right. We send lots of love to our hips today to find a little bit more space. So be with this. Option to cross the arms now. The right arm over the left. The left arm over the right. Too many left and rights for my little brain. Just the opposite side to what you did before. And finding some lovely, smooth breaths. Think about where you can feel your breath here. And maybe today's a day where the leg just isn't crossing over and it's not having any of it. And that's also awesome. So just really be where you are. I'm going to spend one more breath here. And then as we exhale, both feet come down, arms by our sides. We're going to inhale in through the nose whenever you're ready. And on your exhale, open the mouth, sigh it all out. Just one time. Just feel what you feel. And closing the eyes, if you like to, for a final breath. Before curling the chin towards the chest, rolling down to the ground in Uttanasana, forward fold. We'll find something new in your fold. Bring an opposite hand to opposite elbow. Really bending the knees, swaying from side to side. Releasing the hands to the ground as we step both feet back, lift the hips straight away, downward facing dog. And then as slow as we can, floating the knees to the ground. So the shoulders rock forwards over the wrists as the knees float wide, and then sitting back into your version of child's pose. In child's pose, everybody reaching their hands forwards as we walk both hands over to the left side of the mat. Maybe they reach off, maybe the right hand floats on top. And then to the right side. Keep the hips softening down. One more breath here. Coming all the way back. Lifting just a little bit so we can scoop the legs to one side. And making our way down into our seat, feet firmly planted as we reach the arms out. I'm going to curl through the spine, chin towards the chest, and as slow as you can go. Really connecting to this center as we roll down to the ground. Nice. And as you get there, taking the feet as wide as the mat. And rolling the right thigh out, left thigh in. Also known as windscreen wipers. Just float the knees from side to side. And really keep this lovely and soft. This release in the hips, in the lower back, the spine. And one more time to each side. Whenever you're ready, we'll come back to center. Hug the knees in, hands to the shins as we curl the forehead towards the knees, rounding through the spine like a tight ball. Taking a gorgeous breath in. And as you breathe out, lengthen the legs, soften the arms, and come to find our final and most precious resting posture. Notice where you want the hands to lie here. Maybe you bring the left hand to the heart, right hand to the stomach, or both hands to the stomach. Soften everything down to the ground. Close the eyes or soften the gaze if you haven't already, and just listen to the sound of your breath, or feel the feeling of your breath. Can we connect to where we are in this space? We are here, we are present, we are grounded, and we are together. Taking as long as you would like to in your Shavasana. And if you do have to boogie, thank you so much for joining me. Bringing the palms together at the heart space. Thanking yourself for allowing this precious time to practice. From my heart to each and every one of yours. Namaste.